I'm not lying when I say when that one older cop, I think he was down on his knees, or he was down on his knees. That older cop kicked him so hard in his stomach, like diaphragm area. The thud that it made, it took my breath, and I could still hear the sound. And he dropped to his right side in like kind of fetal position, because I mean his hands are behind his back, his legs are shackled, he's on his knees, he's defenseless. So once that dude kicked him, they all just started beating the hell out of him when Devin fell over, and Devin was just trying to protect himself, but he couldn't. And I'm sitting there screaming, "Stop! Stop! Please stop!" And I'm crying. And then one of the cops, the older one, turned around and like pointed at me, like, "Shut."
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And as Hebrews says, remember those in prison as if it were you yourselves. Now, the lady that you just talked about is an eyewitness to the Wayne County Sheriff Department brutally beating this man right here. I'll show you the grotesque looking picture. 27-year-old Devin Champion of Wayne County. Now, this happened about a week ago. And ironically, I was at the courthouse today because speaking with Devin's mother and other loved ones, he was supposed to be at a probation hearing today, but they never brought him over from the courthouse. He's still in custody in the Wayne County Jail under a large bond. Now, this all started out as a domestic abuse situation in which the police called, and Devin apparently was doing some resisting. I'm going to play you that entire call that I had with that eyewitness. I'm also going to show you some of the charges that he was charged with. Now, once again, I don't advocate any of the charges that have been levied against them. But again, I think this is a domestic situation in which police have added on a lot of charges to justify their beating and whooping him, not only before he went to jail in that person's presence, but also after he went to jail, according to some information I received while I was at court doing, this investigation. Now, the individual told me that they have a relative that is in the Wayne County Jail right now, and they have a deputy who just broke his hand on somebody's face, i.e., Devin, because some of the charges show, and I'm going to show you the charges now. This is the list of the charges. I don't know if you can see them, so I'm going to read them right here from the text message. First degree kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, intent to kill, felonious restraint, possession of a weapon by prisoner, malconduct by prisoner, throwing substances, assault on a female, assault on a government official, employee, and resisting public officer. Now, anytime as I've done these things, anytime that there's an assault on a government official, they're going to say that you assaulted them, but in reality, they assaulted you. But they're going to just justify their assaulting of you by them saying you assaulted them. So I'm going to listen to I'm going to let you listen to the call. Then I'm going to go over the charges, but also I'm going to review some of the information that inmates have told loved ones, including more information about Kiara Williams, the one that I did the story on, that was brutally beaten by Wayne County sheriffs before and after she got in custody and was in a coma fighting for her life. But just listen once again to the complete call from this eyewitness detailing what happened to Mr. Champion.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, she gave me, I think she gave me two numbers. And, I guess I dialed the wrong number. Yeah. So I want to know because
this is the best number to be able to reach me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I don't know if you know who I am, but I confront a lot of the police corruption and expose a lot of the stuff they do here in Goldsboro. And so she was telling me about how the son beat up, how the police beat up her son really bad. And she tells me that you were there. I just want to know about the police situation. What was the situation when the police got there and beat him up?
Okay. When the cop come running down the road, he slammed him apart, had the gun drawn as soon as he got out because Devin had a hold of me on top of him, but he had already put the knife in the ground. So there was no knife on him.
Okay.
But the cop had the gun pulled at both of us, I guess, because I was on top, my back to his stomach, and he was on the ground. And he was like, put the knife down, let the girl go. He did. I got right up. I went across the street, and at first, Devin was listening, but then, he was trying to do little things like, well, let me get my phone first. Let me put my pants up first. I'm like, stop. Just do what they say. And then, then you can do all that. Please, just listen. Please. And, all of a sudden there were cars coming. He was not wanting to walk. And
he was not wanting to walk with him?
No.
Okay.
He didn't want to get in the truck either.
Okay.
And I just kept saying, baby, get in the truck. Come on. Listen to him, please. Listen to him. I understand. He was kind of out of touch with reality at the moment.
Well, he was like drunk or, under the influence? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wasn't thinking straight. He was just freaking out, really.
Okay.
They weren't helping the situation and having all of them on them.
How many was it?
Like 5.
And they were on him like on the ground, or was he in the car already?
They get him up and they would pull him up. He wouldn't put his legs down. They put him down on his stomach to cuff him over by the truck, and then they picked him up. They were trying to get him in the truck. They got him in for a second, shut the door. He was kicking windows and stuff. And they went back over there to get him out so they could shackle his ankles. And his hands were still behind his back. When they got him out, then they kind of pushed his way out of the truck. And I'm not lying when I say when that one older cop, I think he was down on his knees, that older cop kicked him so hard in his stomach, like diaphragm area, the thud that it made, it took my breath, and I could still hear the sound. And he dropped to his right side in like kind of fetal position because his hands are behind his back, his legs are shackled, he's on his knee, he's defenseless. So once that dude kicked him, they all just started beating the hell out of him when Devin fell over, and Devin was just trying to protect himself, but he couldn't. And I'm sitting there screaming, "Stop! Stop! Please stop!" And I'm crying. And then one of the cops, the older one, turned around and like pointed at me, like, "Shut up!" And now everybody around me is like, "Oh, he deserved what he got." No, he didn't deserve that. And supposedly he got beat again, and they took him to jail.
In the jail.
Yeah. He should have went straight to the hospital. But I know the exact moment when them cops ended up.
When was that?
They had put him in the truck after they beat him.
Uh-huh.
And they were doing, getting the knife, doing statements and stuff. And all of a sudden, the older cop went to the truck, opened the door, check on him. All of a sudden, he's cussing. "Whoever truck this is that he's in, whose fucking truck is it? What is he? You need to go ahead and take him now." All of a sudden, so the guy ran, jumped in the truck, took off, fast as hell. Another cop followed him. By the time I got to the damn courthouse, they still hadn't got him out the truck. And he left 30 minutes before me, 35 minutes. maybe. And I was like, why didn't they take him to the hospital? They just beat the hell out of him. I didn't know he looked that bad though.
Yeah, they said she sent me the picture. He looked really bad, like so.
Supposedly he looks worse than that right now.
After because they beat him some more. She told me that he has a quarter points at 2 today, so I'm gonna go up there. But I'm gonna also look at some of the.
Got his quarter pointed.
I mean, not quarter pointed, but he has a 2 o'clock court appearance.
Oh, yeah, parole violation.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go up there and sit in there
I'll
and
be
see.
up there too.
And see if I can catch a glimpse of him
Before
I do the story.
I want to put eyes on.
So I see you up there, but also I want to check out the charges because they got one charge that said he threw something at an officer, like threw urine on him. So that's when they get beat up. That's when they really get beat up, though. You know what I'm saying?
That one I don't know if he did it at the jail because I never saw it at the house.
No. Those are jail charges. Those are jail charges.
Now there's some charges that I don't like up there, and I don't like any. I didn't press anything, but still, the one where the cop got his finger or hand broke. He said Devin broke it. No, the motherfucker broke it on Devin's face.
Yeah.
And then he got charged for bringing a knife into the jail because they didn't search him.
Yeah, that's their fault. Yeah.
So. He had no choice.
So yeah, we gonna I'm gonna look into all that. So I'm about to go up there right now and look at some files and stuff. But yeah, that I know that beating, you know, anytime they, you know, you resist them, they beat you, but they shouldn't have beat that young man like that.
Yeah, now the bad part, he has prior resisting an officer.
Yeah, that don't even matter. That don't even really matter.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So look, this is what I'm gonna do. So once again, that was the eyewitness. Evidently, this was the lady who was there. She said that she doesn't like the charges. She didn't take out any charges, but you see how they tried to put a bevy of charges on the young brother, even possession of a weapon by a prisoner, in which he had a pocket knife on, but they beat him so bad that they failed to search him before they put him in the cell. Now, also the assault on the officer, that they're saying that Devin broke the officer's hand. But as the information that I received, even after this call, saying no, this officer broke his hand punching this young man. Now, I'm going to review this information, but one of his charges is as well malconduct by a prisoner. And that says that he threw feces or bodily fluids while a prisoner knowingly and willfully threw bodily fluid at Sergeant McAduff, an employee, while he was in the performance of his duty. So he threw maybe some piss or some, feces on this officer, and they charged him with that. But once again, if you ever been in jail, once you do that, that is a green light for them to beat you up. And that is what I would suggest happened to him in this picture. Now, once again, that's probably happened on the streets where this lady saw him beat, but there was more beating. As his mother said, that she was told that he looked worse after the picture because of, him allegedly throwing feces on the officer. Now, the person who has a loved one in there right now told me that there is a room downstairs, and I'm going to, have that recording. There's a room downstairs that's empty where they take inmates to beat them up. And I've been in that room, and I've been beaten in that room. So I know it. No matter if it was, 2009, about, all going on 15, 16 years ago. I was in that room when I was acting up, when I had a DWI. They put me in that room, stripped me naked, and they beat me, right? So what was I going to do, right? Who was I going to tell, right? So the fact that this person is saying that. Now, mind you, the Kiara Williams story, the 33-year-old mother who was beaten into a coma, This person said that they have an officer bragging about breaking their hand on this. But now, who are these weak officers that keep breaking their hands while they're beating people? They need to eat some more peanut butter and jelly, or eat some more protein shakes, because this is the second one. This person said even somebody died in the jail. They overdosed. They OD'd on May 2nd, and I think they said they deceased on May 22nd. I'm going to get that information. But this is a well-known fact amongst people that go to Wayne County Jail. This is in Goldsboro, North Carolina, that they are beating the living daylight out of inmates down there. If you remember the mentally ill man in 2017, they beat him, tased them. I did the story on that. I had a couple of the officers call me. It was like, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. One of the sheriff, one of the, the higher ups, her son was there too, but he was never charged. A couple of those guys was black and some was white. They got rid of their, I think one of them was Hispanic. They got rid of them, but they didn't get rid of the white officer who was doing that as well. And I was told that, there is an officer in there that was trying to be a whistleblower. But, when that officer went to their superiors, that their superiors told them, if you ask one more question, you're going to be looking for another job. So what are you going to do, right? Everybody's not Muhammad Ali that's going to lay it down for the cause. But, I'm looking forward to talking to that individual as well. But this is a culture in Wayne County. I plan to be addressing the Wayne County sheriff and whoever real soon, about this. Because once again, I know his charges are severe. Once again, the individual, if I'm not mistaken, does not want to press charges to those magnitude. Assaulting a government official, of course, is wrong. Throwing feces on a government official is wrong. But the punishment for that is extra jail time or going to the hole, not being beaten unmercifully like this. And anybody who justifies that, you are part of the problem. You know what I mean? I know, like, if I strike a police officer, their job is to put me in handcuffs and take me to jail. Not beat me on the way to jail, beat me when I get in jail, and beat me when I get in my cell. That is revenge. That is eye for an eye. And so we're going to keep an eye on this case as well as the Kiara Williams case. I'm going to bring some more information. This is my hometown, Wayne County, Goldsboro, John Wayne County, Goldsboro, North Carolina, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. If y'all see this video, share it. If you got relatives that's been in that jail, let me know who's willing to talk. You got inmates who are in the jail right now that are willing to talk, because this is becoming an epidemic. Once again, they killed the guy a while back. His family was awarded $990,000 though. But of course, with that, they have the gag order where they don't speak about it. So, but this is something that I'm not gagged about, and I'm going to continue to speak about until, once again, these cowards who would beat a person in handcuffs, they said they had them hog-tied in handcuffs outside, so I can imagine what they did to him behind closed doors. This 27-year-old man. So evidently he was going through, a psychosis. They say they had a knife when the police came. He dropped the knife. They got him in the truck. He kept trying to kick the doors of the truck, so on and so forth. What have you? But nevertheless, it shouldn't have ended up with him being beaten to a pulp, as they say, like this. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, and donations, calls, emails, texts, interacting with this channel. Most of all, as always, peace and blessings.